Well, alright then. From above, perhaps? Ooh. More houses need a turret. A turret tower. You're really missing out. Oops. That's not it. Wait. What? Let's try this again. What? This seems dangerous. Oh, that's right, okay. Are we repelling? What are we doing? Oh, that's right, it's right in between. It was too risky. The rusty metal frame would have torn the rope if I threw it out the window. Okay. The wall had a wider crack now. The rope was hanging from the hole in the wall. I do not know if I follow the logic on this one, friend. I feel like he's trying to make a situation for the sake of his novel. I mean, that's alright, I guess, but what the heck are you doing? Right. I am liking the moody thunder, though. Right. I carefully pondered the situation and thought about what I was about to do. Why was I obsessed with that room, or whatever occurred inside this house for that matter? I felt a strong urge to go there, even though I was about to risk my life. I decided that climbing down through the window was the only way to get inside the mysterious room, and I resolved to do it. Ooh, spoopy! Ooh. With the loss of my strength, I managed to get inside the mystery room, and mysterious it was indeed. Ooh. creepy wooden horse seemed to be smiling at me. I wonder if these blocks and numbers have anything important about them. Oh, it's a puppy. Oh, it's another puppy. You're a wizard, creepy baby. Oops. So why do we have a nursery all bricked up? Well, they liked animals. I'll give them that. Ooh, a birth certificate. Ooh, with the name blacked out. A boy. Catherine Lydia Blackwood. Maiden name Dowerton. Father was the lord of the house. Why have we bricked up the baby boy's room? But we are going to write down the birthday. It appears that the wife was murdered just 2.5 years later. I wondered if this member of the family was still around town and would perhaps be able to shed some light upon the past history of the house. I had to find some way of getting in touch with him. Is that it? Perhaps the doctor might be able to get a hold of the doctor if they're still practicing about town. That would be my best assumption. Anything? Alright, just to be sure, we wrote down the registration date of that birth certificate. It was 2 days after the birth. Ouch. Okay. And I am going to write down some of these. It seemed as if someone took extreme measures to forget about the existence of this room for some reason. Mr. Blackwood? That empty cradle inside such a dirty and neglected room made me feel very sad. Alright, I don't know which one of these we're gonna need, but I'm gonna write some of them down anyways. Hmm. Hey, that one's N7. Nice. Alright, that's all we can really make out at the moment. So we're gonna go with that. Right. Back out we go. Oh, wait a minute. There's letters in the wallpaper. Is there perhaps a code on the wallpaper? Could just be clever wallpaper. Alright. Let's get out of here. Good job climbing, sir. Right. We have another date to check. Back up to the newspaper hoard. Shit. And another impossible to detect mouse window. I checked if there was anything of interest back in August 1961. The journal. Oh, this is one of the photos that was in the intro in the maid's dark room. Let's see. Sad news hits our beloved town today, following an announcement that was received with rejoicing amongst many that one of the most illustrious members of our community, Mr. James Blackwood, was having a child soon. We now have to relate, oh no, a macabre turn of events. The son that was being lovingly awaited by the Blackwood family died shortly after the delivery due to a strange ailment. Understandably, the information disclosed about this happening was succinct. It appears that Mrs. Catherine Blackwood was already suffering from pains in her stomach, probably an indication that something was not healthy about her pregnancy. Dr. Christopher Milton, who attended the birth, assured us that he made every possible effort to ensure a safe delivery, but with bowed head he said that the boy was already doomed ever since his conception. The cause of death has not been stated, but those few close to the Blackwood family have said that there were serious complications during the delivery. Helping to relieve that somber news, Mrs. Blackwood was thankfully found to be out of danger. Her husband did not wish to comment about the event. What was that about? That's unfortunate. My huge disappointment quickly gave way to an empty, void feeling. Something wasn't right here. I began wondering if James Blackwood was somehow involved with the death of his son. Spoopy. Or as Nancy Drew would say, with her saucy little self. Oh, maybe that's why the pram is up here. Hum and a hum. Humana humana. Indeed. Alright. Now that we've got a hammer, let's see if we can move that cabinet in the display, the gallery. That was part of our nightmare last night. Oh, we have wheels. Let's give it the old oil can. So it does move. The door was heavily barred, and its appearance reminded me of something I had read. I don't know what, but okay. The room was too dark to see anything. Ooh. This music is making me feel like I'm sewing a coat of skin or something. Did it rub the lotion on its skin? What is this? Is this the spooky mask? An odd-looking African mask was positioned in the middle of the storeroom. Its presence made me feel terribly uneasy. Now that there was enough light, I extinguished the lamp to save the oil. No, don't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oops. Are we crashing? Oh dear. Oh no. Well, shit. That's not good. Whoops. Looks like we'll be right back. Hooray, we're back. It only took like 6 or 7 tries because it kept crashing. So that's no fun. We know that it's very sensitive on getting hung up in the door animations. Now we know. Thank you for sticking around if you're still here. That sucked. Right. So, back to where we were. An odd-looking African mask was positioned in the middle of the storeroom. Yep, his presence made me feel uneasy. I wonder if this is James's. Talking about the Dalmar. July 3rd. My recent researches on the Dalmar have shed some light upon their terrible activities. I understand now that the lack of existing information about them was not only a cause of their small size and rarity, but also a reluctance or rather superstitious attitude towards their nature. Even some of the most important historians of South Africa will refuse to mention their name, usually referring to them as the War Tribe. After digging into some of the most obscure books I could find about the subject, I must admit now that reading them made me very nervous and uneasy, bringing back the memory of those horrible acts I witnessed on that day. I can't understand why any human being, uncivilized or not, would behave in such a manner. War among savage tribes is of course very common and a recurring theme in history, but the Dalmar, they went even beyond war. Usually a tribe will engage in battle to conquer new territory or perhaps defeat an enemy. They did it for the sole reason of destruction and extreme love for violence. The account of their actions is downright scary. They'll invade villages, slaughtering every inhabitant without regard for their sex or age. Men, women, children would inevitably perish by their fury and hate, which is, I think, the most unsettling element of their stories. They didn't use any weapons. They killed villagers with their bare hands and teeth as if they were drawing power from an unearthly source. I find it hard to believe this, and if I hadn't seen them with my own eyes, I'd say they were some kind of wild legend. Once they'd slaughtered every living thing in the village, they'd burn it to the ground, every single construction or possession of the fallen villagers, proof that they definitely were not interested in conquering or even taking some advantage of the terrain. Their motives were moved solely and purely by an incredible despisal of life and hatred towards anything that wasn't from their village. That is another curious thing. They somehow managed to sustain a constant population level, as if they controlled exactly the amount of people needed for an attack, but at the same time warrant survival using their few existing resources. I fear this wasn't some kind of wondrous organization system, but rather an elimination process of useless member or unnecessary child. Ooh, I dare not think about it, but I'm afraid this would happen. This would explain why they didn't need to hunt for food. They feasted upon themselves. Ah! Now I know the mask. Now I know what the mask stands for, and I shiver at the thought of it. I must confess, I'm worried. I don't know why, but I fear for my life. Ooh, you shouldn't have done that, pal. Classic white people. Dear Christopher, July 24th, 1962. This is around the time he murdered his wife. Dear Christopher, please excuse the tone of this letter. I know I must sound like a raving madman, but I truly can't find a proper way to put together all the thoughts that have been taking my sleep away these past days. There is a reason behind all those recent adversities. It's the mask, Christopher. It's that mask I told you about. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't studied its origins on my own, but it's really the source of all my suffering. The tribe it belonged to, I must confess, I didn't take the mask by appropriate means. Silly goose. And I fear that this might have unleashed some terrible wrath against my life and everything that surrounds me. It's been over a year ago since I witnessed the most outrageous acts of violence that not even in my worst nightmares could I have imagined. And the mask was the epicenter of it all. What I was thinking of when I took it is beyond me. It was probably a vicious streak of greed, but I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Oh, sorry. It represents evil, and I am truly convinced this evil can somehow take shape and punish those who have disgraced it. I did, and now I must face the consequences. I will take some more time to investigate this. I might even go back to South Africa to seek help, although something tells me not even returning the mask would do any good. The damage is already done, and I believe it's getting worse as the days go by. Every time I walk past the gallery, I can hear some incessant odd chatter, as if something was being plotted inside. And those voices, Christopher, they seem to be angry. Please help me. Come and see me as soon as you can. James. Well, you silly goose. You go taking shit that don't belong to you. Right. Shan't have done that, mister. That was naughty. And we also know to save extremely often. Extremely, extremely often. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Which is exactly what we're about to do again. Hooray. We've learned a lot. We need to take all this down. Alright. What did we just write? Is it any good? Michael is our name, by the way. Whoops. Suddenly, she stopped and stood there, paralyzed, hesitant to give any credit to what her eyes were seeing, and completely unaware of the potentially dangerous situation. Surprisingly, there wasn't anything unusual or strange about the event. Little Kathy was hastily crossing the living room towards the huge oak door, her fancy black dress fluttering at every footstep. As the girl reached the doorknob, she turned to look back at Marion and urged her with a whisper to hurry up. But Marion wasn't seeing Kathy. Her memories haunted her back in displaced reality, giving room to the nightmarish vision she had spent months trying to forget ever since her first visit to the old house. In her dream, she saw the little girl, also wearing a black dress, emerging from a passageway hidden in the room. She'd never actually managed to glimpse where the passage was, only saw the girl running towards her, her small face contorted in a horrible grimace. Marion quickly realized it was a twisted version of the Kathy she would know later, as if her figure was then distorted by a veil of smoke. Her exact movements through the room, reaching for the knob, facing her back, those were too many coincidences to ignore. It wasn't a nightmare that she was experiencing that day, nor a ghost, something she refused to believe in, but was now willing to blindly embrace as the truth. Given the shocking vividness of the vision, a ghost would come from the past. What she'd seen came from the... Her thoughts were interrupted as a figure behind her cast a shadow across the doorstep. "You filthy liar! You have betrayed me!" "Oh," groaned a deep... "You have betrayed me!" groaned a deep voice. The ending had to come up with a suitable ending. The final twist was the most celebrated aspect of VT, I guess his other novel. They will tear me apart if I don't pull off another thing like that. But how? I'm up to the point where Steve goes mad. She is confused. The visions are becoming real, so now we know for sure there's a supernatural element in the story. Wait, is that really so? Question is, does it have anything to do with the creepy old lady or not? Would it be too obvious if her powers were real after all? Big question. Would people accept it if the solution to the story is unreal? Damn, why am I trying to please everybody here? No, Deus ex machina. Scribble. On the other hand, a realistic solution disguised as supernatural. Is that possible? They are expecting something like that. A real and probable outcome? That's why they loved it in VT. Bloody hell, this is driving me insane. Seems like we're struggling a bit. Alrighty. It's time to go back and talk to our boy Jerry. And bitch and moan again. It's all we seem to do. $5 p.m. We'll lose light soon. And we still don't have power, so... Didn't mean to go in here. See, did it again. This is what caused ourselves to crash last time. And we're gonna save it again. I let my hubris get in the way last time.
Jerry, it's me. You won't believe what I found here.
Girl, you will not believe.
It's about the happenings that led to the murder you told me about.
Murder.
There's an impressive backstory surrounding this place and many loose ends. It would seem nobody ever stumbled upon this.
Shouldn't you be working on your book?
Are you listening to me? James Blackwood was into some very weird stuff and possibly dangerous. Something tells me this case is much more complex than it was thought to be.
Why don't you inform the authorities? I'm sure they'll be dying to reopen a long-forgotten case about some crazy old psycho killing his wife.
No way. And miss all the fun? I'm doing this on my own. I wonder if those noises I heard have anything to do with this. Maybe James Blackwood was trying to hide something.
Like in that book, where an old man was guarding the entrance to hell. I bet this James Blackwood person had a doorway like that in his basement. Those dreadful noises must be the sounds of the damned.
Oh, could be.
Why, thanks, mate. That's been very helpful. Great to have friends like you.
Then stop talking about all this nonsense. Do you have any idea how crazy it sounds? You're a writer, not some fancy PI.
I'll get to
I can be
bottom of
both.
this. I know I will. I'm certain there's much more to James Blackwood than a simple act of murder.
Murder.
Sounding more morbid than usual. Simple act of murder? Oh goody. Just somebody died. Nothing to worry about. This isn't like you, Michael. This whole thing is really affecting you.
Stop being a drama queen. I'm a grown-up and I'm pretty aware of what I'm doing.
Fine. Go chase around the ghosts of James Blackwood. I'll stay here in the real world.
I'll let you know about my progress.
Why do we talk like Dracula? I'll let you know about my progress. Oh, it's Sunday. We can't call the bank yet. Alright, well. It's getting dark. Reckon it's time for Betty Bye. Time for snoozing. Something didn't feel right. Ooh. We're not hearing our scratches again. Couldn't hear anything out of the ordinary. Getting spoopy. I suppose the rain has stopped. Last time our nightmare took us in here. Oh. Uh-oh. Got me in that jump scare. Yikes. Oh! What the fuck? Double jump scare. Once again, I was awakened during a bizarre dream by those scratching noises. What is going on? The mask was looking at me. I didn't like it. Had to find out their source. Ugh. Well, let's see if it's actually gone. Now that we're awake. Oh, it's there. I think this place is starting to get to us. We couldn't go in the cellar before because we didn't have any light. But now we have a lantern, so let's figure out what the heck's going on around here. Maybe. If we're lucky. Forgot how to get to the cellar. But I think we're on the right track. We just looked, he took the long way. Whoops. Why are you stomping? Just stomping. And we know better. We're going to save. Oh! Oh. Why would we crawl into a furnace? Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. What's that? Ah!